All right, I'm going to do my blog design. But here's the debate. When it comes to starting with typography, I heard the term something like scaling. Should I scale it first or design it right away? And that's the debate. And in this video, I'm going to show you the best practices, how I would take this challenge, how I teach to my own students, and what are the best practical tips when it comes to your initial blog design. Let's dive in. I assume that you are starting from zero, and that is going to be your, let's say, text from your own client. Let's first select everything, put them in an auto layout, and then, okay, let's get rid of this first. So I have one auto layout that is covering all child elements. And then let's do a layout guide of 12 columns, let's say 64 margin and 16 gutter. And let's do white, or let's say black, for me to see it better. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to do is decide to do, in my case, I want to do something like 10 column structure. And for this one, I can put like extra auto layout and do slightly smaller. But let's go ahead and do it like center so that I can select my auto layout and do something like this. 6 columns. Perfect. So the first step is done. Second step is, let's get rid of the grids for now. Select all the child elements. And in my case, I am going to use a font something like Overuse Grotesque. Done. And of course, I need to select this one as well. Grotesque, fine. So by selecting all these text elements, I'll first initially set the font size to 16. So my base font size will be 16. Why? Because most of the browsers' default size is 16. So if I zoom in to 100, it's really hard to read. So what I'm going to do is I will set 150% line height. Good. But is it enough? Not enough, because what I'm going to do also is I will set the paragraph spacing 16 for now. You see, if I take this part as a paragraph now, it's going to set automatically 16 instead of 0, which is quite practical. And second thing is I see that there is some sort of list items, and there might be list items not in my, of course, title and subtitle, but in my body text. Let's set them something like 8 for now. 8 seems good. So these are like foundational stuff. So first I need to like my overall design, and then I can scale them up or down. Let's reduce to 140 maybe. That's looking good. So for the next one, I would highly advise you to choose 1 or maximum 2 font families. Anton maybe can be a good 164. And let's make it small so that I can see like more than one straight line in order for me to decide the line height, because line height 150% works fine in body text, but in title it's not that much. So let's try 100. If it's too close, maybe you go 110. And for, let's say, the kerning, the letter spacing is -1. Perfect. And I can get back to this child item to fill container once again. Good. So no matter how large the text will be, it will always be around this metric. So this second one is going to be I will use the same one, but like bold, and let's say 24. And line height, as you see, it does not feel united. I will most likely reduce. Let's also reduce the letter spacing to -1, -2. That's looking okay. So you see, everything is getting shape up. I have a grid system, and then I have an auto layout that is nesting all these child elements, and I have like 24 pixel gap between all child elements. And I can take this element for now to the bottom, and let's go ahead and do something like this one as, again, let's say 24. Should I do like a bold version or extra bold, or maybe even light and 32? Because they are going to be my like sub headers. And also do not forget, here you might be looking at how it will react this type of subheadings in more than one line. 140 is too much, so I will reduce to 110, 100. So when I finish, I can take this child element to fill the container once again. So more or less, this is what I would like to see in terms of design. And maybe I can go ahead and create like a bold one. And also I kind of change my mind, and I can go to medium and do something like a line height. That's looking great. So as a designer, you can take notes and say that this is going to be, let's say, my body type. And let's take one sentence and paste outside, make a different color. But before, let's scale them by using a tool that you don't have to use these tools. You can use another tools. I would use type scales. You can go to plugins and write type scales. Click. Now, let me explain these things. So base size, we all understand that it's 16. It depends. It can be 20 in other font families. And the scale, go ahead and choose minor third or major third. What it means is, so let's make it like 2 to 2. If this is 1.2, this means that if your base font is 16, it's going to increase 20% up and 20% down. If you want like more contrast, in this case, you can go perfect fourth. You see that it's getting more dramatic. You can even go down to golden ratio, which is more dramatic. There's no, again, right or wrong here. You can select anything you want. I would go for perfect fourth for now, and leave it as it is. So line height, I'll set the typical around 1.4, which is basically the same thing of saying 140%. Scales, I will definitely need more than one type of title. So let's go ahead and say something like 4, which I can increase over time. And scales down is, let's say, 12 and 9, which I could play with that. 2 is more than enough for me. I will always highly advise you to round the values. Stay away from integers, just round the values, and then say generate. When you say generate, you basically have something like not styles yet, but already have something that you can play with. So the same stuff. I will do like a smaller version. But in this case, I can take these metrics and say, instead of copy, there is a shortcut. When you select that child object, Option Command C to copy the attributes, come here and select this one, Option Command V. So that's going to be like my main title, right? And let's say the second title is this. Again, Option Command C, Option Command V. And the rest, and maybe I can call this one a display large and display small. I still did not do a display medium. These can be my titles. Fine. I have like two H1, H2, display X small, display X large, things like that. What else? I have this one, definitely. So select Option Command C. Let's go ahead and do something like H2. Is it going to be... No, that's about right. Good. And yeah, I can do, obviously, the bold version later on. But that's... If I make test for all of them, something like select these child elements, especially the titles. Good. You see, like, this has better line height. It's readable. It's 140 versus this is 110 because we initially set these metrics here. Trust your eyes first, then make it a small system second. And this one, for example, I would like it to be a little bit bold, semi-bold, maybe. And yeah, you can feel free to increase or decrease these things. And from there, if you select this part and see already these styles that you don't know, it's most likely because of under your assets, under your library, these are presets from Figma. And M3 is Material Design 3 Design Kit, a design system from Google. You can go ahead and remove if you want. Good, they are removed. Let's go back to the file again and let's give our first text style finally. And I'm going to call this one display /XX large, maybe. Most of the time I use t-shirt size and create style. And this is, I will call it plus, again, display /XS, because I still did not set in between. These are going to be something like title or let's say title / copy that part H1. Good. And again, title H2. Good. This is my body type plus body. This can be like body S, and this can be body XS. So when you click outside, you can already see everything. So displays are here, so you can set anything. For example, these 3 child elements, let's put them in an auto layout, make them closer, make them also like not filled but hug the child elements. And let's say that this is going to be, I want this to be the display Excel. Good. And yeah, I will most likely keep them in auto layout, otherwise they will be like a mess. Good. So what else? This thing would be my XS, and this is going to be my body copy. So from there, I can, of course, go and make any changes I would like along the way. But this gives me some sort of clarity initially that I set it and I kind of like it, and then go ahead and populate more pages with that. Let me know down below if you like this type of content. And of course, obviously, you can smash the like and subscribe to my channel, and hopefully share with your friends. That would help my channel grow over time. And stick around because I have way more content in my head as I planned. Once again, thanks for watching and see you on the next one.